Page 29. They're not very big, but I like us to like hunt one down and see what it looks like, because they provide helpful activities, right? So the recommendation, which we'll get into around sensitivity, is use open-ended and closed-ended questions to help children think and notice math and to work on problem solving. How many do you have altogether? How do you know? Oh my gosh, I have second graders who can't answer these questions. It's like so foundational that they get it now. What is the name of this shape? How do you know? Which group has more? How do you know? Let's count to be sure. They're so aligned to Common Core standards and different things that kids need to know later on. So these are great little references to include. So now I'm going to have you turn back to page, I believe it's 13. Yep, page 13 in your participant manual. Does mine look the same as yours? Yes. Okay, great. We've talked about this a little bit already. You've brought so much experience to the space. But within your classrooms, you may have children who represent the 3 child profiles from the Hart and Risley research. Some of these kids will have really expansive vocabularies, they'll know lots of words, and they'll feel very confident in communicating, and some children will have less. So I want to talk about one strategy that will help all children get what they need at the level that they're at. So regardless of where they are, they'll get support. The letters. Letters have name song is an example of an activity that you can embed into your literacy and math rich schedule. Now, the literacy math rich schedule, who has that on their table? That's one of our cards. Well, thank you, Joe. While she's putting that up, I want you to turn in your participant manual to page 283. Thank you. And you'll see an example of what I'm talking about. Now this is just, you're like, this is just a table, Dana. It's just a blank table. This is a place where you can put all of the routines that you do throughout your day. And there are additional columns, so that's where the routines go in the first column. And you can think about, in our time together, what are the seeds strategies that I can add to this routine I'm already doing to make sure that children are having the quality interactions and are getting exposed and practice with the literacy math rich schedule, or with the Big 5 literacy skills and the Big 5 math skills. And then there's another column that will, the column at the end that we'll continue to talk about as we do more learning together. So put a sticky on that page, because you'll want to be able to reference this throughout our time together. We'll eventually add stuff to our schedule. And you can head back to page 13 in your manual as we talk about embedded and explicit instruction. Now when I think about my literacy math rich schedule, and I think about the letters have names sung, I wouldn't just want to do that when I remember it, like, oh, I have 3 minutes, let me just do this song. I want to embed it into my schedule, make it part of it permanently, or at least consistently. Because in doing so, it will create that routine that is consistent for kids to help them feel safe, and will also teach them things. Okay? So by embedding it, I put it into my schedule and I make it consistent. That's really important, this idea, this concept of embedded routines. I want you to turn to a neighbor and check for understanding. What does embedded instruction mean?